So please tell me why you want to be a doctor and do no harm. No different than Dr. Manuel Ferreira Jr. And maybe more importantly, why I am a fake veteran in Washington State. However, in Arizona, I don't talk about breakfast tacos. I ride around I drive and I fly in outer space. Not so different unfortunately, than elsewhere in the United States of America. Where we don't wake up early in the morning to wait for the first light of a day at University of Washington, where I go every day in silence, running from the thugs and the bullies who harass me making these videos describing a dinosaur on an object in outer space, who has a gray brain and purple heart. But at University of Washington, I am a doctor. Who doesn't practice the fake medicine of Greenwood, Seattle, Washington State. Who doesn't sell the drugs and the sex on Aurora. But who could eventually sit with Vladimir Putin and Xi Jinping describing what I've done for the last 16 years and not be offered a cigarette in cold, shivering rain, sitting in an object in outer space. But making a better life than what humans allow in Washington State in silence. Any surgeon other than Dr. Manuel Ferreira Jr. and Dr. Ben Carson would set aside their scalpel, their knife, and gloves and have a thought in the rain no different than I on this cold, dark, and disgusting and emotional November morning in silence for 15 minutes. And not consider the consequences of what all of these humans in Greenwood, Seattle, Washington State can't describe in any other way other than how they talk about what they engineer in outer space. And why they sleep at night and I am harassed all day, bullied all night, and dominated. While they enjoy their freedom in mansions and houses and $100,000 apartments in silence. And then begin to figure out why their addiction to politics and stimulation has now caused World War III. On their land, they dominate in silence. I don't have to fight. I don't have to worry about, and I don't have to consider as their children do waking up on this cold, rainy morning on their object in outer space. And maybe more beautiful than the 6 or so minutes I don't have to train soldiers, I don't have to learn to fire weapons. Engineered by the same humans who describe me as a retard in silence. My grandfather, my uncle, and all the other veterans already carried into battle in silence. I used to go to Sedona and yell at John McCain until my instructor at Buds John McCain said to take my nuclear ballistic missile submarine to the Arctic in silence. Where he said to go meet my friend Ryan, my other combat buddy, to go for a walk in silence. My friend Ryan, who said he thought Adriana was as pretty as I thought she was when we were going to school in Arizona. Who one day was out on patrol for a few minutes and then a few hours and decided to call me and tell me my friend Nick a bullet had died. He said, no, Nick Ansbury, he died? And my other friend Ryan said, no, he's a bone frog. Motherfucker jumped off and fucking dropped a bomb, too. I said, oh. So why didn't you tell Coach Dave? He said, no, not Coach Cheese. I said, well, what are you talking about? He said, Ride the Lightning. I said, wait, so that's what you listened to on Nick's Veterans Day? He said, no, that's the day we listened to the legend. I said, well, what legend are you talking about? He said, well, the legend. Sitting with Nick in heaven in silence. He said, no, that's the other Veterans Day. I said, no, that was the last Veterans Day when the day after Friday was Saturday when Ryan and I went out to sea and never came back again in silence.